All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's break down this final fight that opened the main card for this fight, morning, night, afternoon, whatever time zone you were in enjoying this content. And we got a matchup between a top 15 flyweight against someone outside the rankings. And I cursed this fight, ladies and gentlemen, before it could even get started. Because remember what was my previewing highlights to showcase for both of these fighters going into the octagon this time? It was Alex Perez has already got a top 15 victory this year against number 13 at the time, but now number 14, Charles Energy Johnson. And that was followed by after a victory that Sumudaerji got 2 months later in UFC 326 against Jesus Aguilar. And Jesus wasn't ranked, but neither was Sumudaerji. But now his next opponent was against Alex Perez, who is number 11th ranked, to try and jump into the rankings that high with this fight. I jinxed both of them trying to get their second win in the UFC. And this is how it ended, ladies and gentlemen. 2 round no contest ended with a illegal groin strike. Let's look at the highlights of this fight from all of it completed. 31 total strikes for Sumudaerji to 22. This fight could have ended in bad case scenario for Alex Perez if it had continued from the groin strike not being delivered. But now let's look at the first round highlights. So it's pretty even if you look at it, 21 to 18. One takedown by Sumudaerji, but the round ended with a submission attempt that Alex Perez finished the round before, or finished the round finished before he could potentially finish the fight with a guillotine choke. And he did drop him. I will admit that he did drop him, but I thought so. He dropped him slightly in the first, but it dropped him way more in the second before we got to the illegal groin strike. And then obviously the strike totals 10 to 4. It only lasted minute 45 seconds, so 105 seconds total. That's not really much to go by. I mean, the submission attempt that Alex had in the second round, I don't know if it was as like deep as it was that we saw in the first, but it still gets a credit for. Now look at some of the highlight pictures. So yeah, they start in a clinch position early in the first round, and then after the reason I set this picture up is because Sumu breaks the clinch and delivers a nasty elbow to kind of throw Alex's equilibrium on. But then later on, he catches the little lazy body kick that Sumu throws towards the belly button, and Alex grabs it to then swarm him towards the cage and deliver some strikes of himself. Then here's the end of the round of him getting the guillotine choke after he gets taken down, but finishes it in a dominant finishing the fight position. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, 11 seconds into the second round, here's the strike that Sumudaerji delivers to Alex Perez that sends him straight to his ass, drops him, and then here comes, unfortunately, the strike that finished the fight, but didn't get either one of the fighters a win, mind you. Yep, there's the illegal groin strike, and then here's the results. It made Alex Perez just lean over back to double knees. As soon as I saw this, I cursed it just like I cursed it before the fight started. I said, please don't be like Cody Garbrandt. And when I saw that, like in my head register, I cursed it immediately because that's exactly what happened to Alex Perez 2 times in 2 months span, ladies and gentlemen, when Joe Rogan said, I've never seen this happen where someone needs the bucket to throw up in the middle of the octagon. And unfortunately, there's Sumudaerji. He can't do anything but just be displeased with himself. He can be dissatisfied, but he's more displeased with his actions of delivering the groin strike rather than his opponent suffering the way he is. And at the 4 minute 55 second mark with 5 seconds to go, the referee calls it as a no contest. And unfortunately for Sumudaerji and Alex Perez, neither one of them gets the win bonus. They flew all the way across the country with Sumu training in Sacramento with Team Alpha Male, and Alex Perez training in California with Team Oyama. But now looking at the flyweight rankings, I mean, Alex still is at number 11, and Sumu can be 16, 17, wherever you want to put him, right below 15. But if you want to run this back, you could, although you could make it a different matchup with the winner of and loser of Bruno Silva and Edgar Chairez coming up in a few weeks. But I mean, for Alex Perez and Sumudaerji, I jinxed him saying that whoever wins this fight was going to be 2-0, the first ever 2-0 fighter in the top 15 of the flyweights, and neither one of them are.